He has DJed for brands like Soho House, Coinbase, Miguel, and created impactful content for Selena and Azulik. So guys, welcome Remy, what I like to call him, Remy for short, onto the podcast. How you doing today, brother?
Doing really well. Thanks for that beautiful intro, man. That was awesome.
No worries. I also forgot to mention that you're building a virtual community, which we're going to dive into in a bit. But to start this off for everyone, I want to go deep. So I have a question for you. I saw, if you guys can see it, but I have a quote right here that I was reading before and it really hit. And I want you to elaborate on this because I think this is really impactful for people. Quote, most people don't lose because they failed. They lose because they built something they didn't love. Stay true to your vision. Build what feels good in your soul. That's the real win. No more boxes, just freedom. End quote.
It's powerful. It's powerful. Yeah, man. I'm glad we started off with this. I think this 2025 is truly showing us that the systems that have been in place throughout our lifetime are actually now ones that we can trust. And so now it's up to us as individuals to go and create a lifestyle that we're truly excited about, something that we truly love. And for the past 7 years of my life, I've been working for other people, working for other jobs. Maybe part of those experiences were great and abundant, but they weren't ultimately what I wanted to do on a day-to-day basis. And I think for me, making that quote, it's an opportunity to invite people to look within, to break outside of the box. There's so much more out there waiting for you, so much more abundance, so much more freedom, but you have to think differently. You have to let go of the limiting beliefs. I've had so many conversations with people in these past couple months about what I'm building, and a lot of the feedback they're giving me would be me sacrificing the true vision I'm creating to just create this container. Oh, it's a membership community. Oh, it's a service-based product. It's like, no, like we're shifting from, at least I'm shifting from that type of mentality to building the ultimate vehicle for myself that the other people are going to be really excited about. So yeah, man, it's time. It's time to break free from that.
I truly agree with you when you say that. And I feel like a lot more people nowadays are starting to quote unquote wake up from that box. Do you think that box, because I had this, I was talking with my friend the other day and I was saying, wouldn't it just be amazing if everyone broke out of the box and everyone started becoming an entrepreneur and creating and having freedom and not being able to be locked down? And their response to that was, yeah, but then society would break. At least I think that's what they said. Like some people actually have to be those followers. Curious to hear your opinion because I have a couple different thoughts on that as well.
That is an interesting concept. Of course, like for me, like I'm the biggest believer in collaboration, and there's enough room for everyone in this world to create what they want. There's enough room for everyone to be a leader. In fact, our world would look so much differently if we all aspired to that. But of course, the world we're living in right now is kind of splitting into two, right? It's people that are waking up and people that are going to numb even more to what's happening, living in fear, living in chaos. So that sounds like a utopia to me. In my mind, that's perfect, but I don't know if that's the reality that's going to be created.
What led you to kind of breaking out of that box, quote unquote, waking up? Because there's a lot of people who don't wake up. Someone who's watching this probably hasn't waken up. Maybe they're going to see this and they wake up. Was there a specific time, a specific thing that made you wake up from your childhood to where you are now?
Yeah, man, I feel like the first 18 years of my life, I was just running on autopilot. Like I played soccer for 18 years. My biggest goal was to go and play professionally. And my senior year, after that last season, I was like drinking, partying, hanging out with my friends, really not aligned with the ultimate vision that I had originally created for myself. And that energy carried into college. I went to University of Cincinnati for one semester,
That's
and the
it?
reason it was only one semester is because I was overindulging, I was over partying, I was over consuming, I was lost, and I had to come home. Like my parents legit were like, "Hey, you got to come back. Like your grades, like you're not going to class. Why would we send you back to school?" And that was like such a depressing time for me because in that moment college was the thing. All my peers were in college. I made all my friends. And I was back home in my hometown, just like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, is this it for me? Am I going to continue to go down this dark path, or am I going to maximize my potential? And that statement right there became my ethos of just, I'm here for more. And I'm blessed because I had a couple guys that I grew up playing soccer with. This was when we were 18, 19. They already started like a hedge fund. They're already making like 6, 7 figures. And these are people that I grew up with from the age of like 7 or 8 playing soccer with. I'm back home and I see this and I'm like, wait, there's people out there doing more? Like, they're not just going to school and partying, they're building towards something bigger than themselves. And then that's when I like became extremely introspective. I feel like those were the days Gary Vee was like a
Yeah.
really huge inspiration for a lot of us in entrepreneurship. He was really shoving that shit down our throat. So that was really the beginning phase, and that's when I started Virtual, man.
Dude, that's amazing. I have a belief that we all have these moments that happen in our life that's kind of like waking up. And it's funny that you mentioned your friends that you were with from like 7 or 8 um age that started a hedge fund and they were making all this money and all this. Did you have any, what's the word to use? Any thoughts in yourself of like, oh shit, well, what am I doing? Like they're doing that. Basically, I guess you could call it comparing yourself from what they've got going on at the current moment versus where you are right now.
I think that might have been like what broke me out of the cycle
Interesting.
I was in was I was comparing myself so much. I was so in my head at that time, like, wow, like I had to come back home from college. Like my siblings are like that's all my family's created or known, like my friends are in school. Like who am I? Like I felt like a nobody, compared
Interesting.
to other people. And so I created, I feel like Virtual in that time because I wanted to prove others that I was worthy. We all want that sense, that feeling of worthiness, that what's the right call? I guess acceptance
Yeah,
of
yeah.
other people. And so I think that was definitely a driver for me in the beginning phases, was more so like being seen as someone that's still successful, and even if I'm doing it in my own way.
Were you alone during those times, or did you have someone like a buddy by your side to kind of go and fight the battle with, especially when things are going crazy internally in your mind?
I would say probably like the first 3 to 6 months, it was more solo.
Wow.
Like I was
Wow.
pretty much like grounded. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
feel like I was in trouble at home.
Yeah.
Like my parents they weren't happy with me. And um but when I started Virtual, I hit up two of my good friends, Jared and Eric, and they're at university. Eric went to USC, Jared was at Miami University, and I asked them to co-found the business with me. And I feel like that was really like the turning point for me, is like, all right, I'm not building this ship alone. I actually have some other co-pilots to do this with. And they were really the ones that helped me take this idea I had and get it off the ground. So, but it took some time though to like, cause I remember like I was like really upset with myself. Like I was doing like Xanax and shit. And like,
Really?
I don't know how I fell into that rabbit hole. I remember my roommates at UC saying like, Remy, like, don't link up with this person, don't do this. And of course, like me being that rebel kid, first semester, first time away from home for a long time, I did it, and that became like really my downfall. And so there was at one point where I wanted to be like a DEA agent. I was like, I
No
don't want
way.
anybody doing this. And then at one point it was a lawyer. So like there's a constant reflection of like, all right, what am I going to do with my life? Like what's next? Because my parents wanted me to go to the Navy, and I knew that was not my destiny. I knew that was not my purpose.
So you kind of had like multiple things coming across at you, like doors opening, windows opening, kind of that analogy. And you knew, no, that's not going to happen. That doesn't feel right. Like deep down, that just doesn't feel right. And there's going to be a door that's going to come eventually, and it's going to open. And next thing you know, bam, virtual.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing I've really created within myself, and even you just saying that maybe at a younger age too, is intuition. Like, allow the feelings in your body to be the compass of your path. It, like,
Ooh.
people think their thoughts are their reality. And that's one of the biggest misperceptions as a human, is believing these 90% of the thoughts we have a day are thoughts we had yesterday. So can you get quiet enough to feel, all right, I got a message from X to do a podcast. How do I feel in my body? Does this feel aligned? Absolutely. That's why we're here right now. You know what I mean? So it's like you really need to follow the intuition and just the feelings in your body to create the life that you want.
What are your thoughts and advice for others who are getting new to this concept of feeling your intuition, those feelings? And how do you know, what advice would you give to them about whether to, whether it's real to follow it, or whether to push it to the side and let it pass?
It's a really, really good question. I think intuition's a skill. It's something that takes time to develop. How I developed it in 2020, I started meditating. I'm not going to say meditation is the end all be all, but I will say stillness, being quiet and listening, that there is something powerful in that when you let go of these distractions. And in modern day, the distractions we're up against is absolutely insane. And I would say distinguishing between taking the action and surrendering to an opportunity. Once again, there's like this sense of knowingness. I can't help someone pinpoint this, like if you feel this, you should do that. It's like you'll know. It's just, are you willing to take that action? And I think that's the next step too, is it's like cultivating that confidence to believe in yourself that the feelings that you're having are things that you should pursue. And that's a whole other rabbit hole that will guide you to so many fruitful opportunities.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's so amazing that you say that, because that's literally like what happened with me as well. I heard all these guys and people online talking about like you just know. Like you're in the know once you wake up. And when I was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how does that even make sense? And then
Yeah.
as you start to do more developing within yourself, more meditation, more prayer, whatever it might be for you, walking outside, you begin to realize what that actually means. And then things come around to me, uh, have been coming around to me lately. And I'm like, no, no, it sounds like an amazing opportunity, but like, no. Sometimes I love just saying that word no, because, no creates time in things. No, make sure that you're on the path that you want to be on. And I heard this quote the other day at one of my events, and they were saying one thing that can lead to, I'm paraphrasing right now, not exactly what they said, but one thing that can lead to the failure of your whole entire empire is you allowing an opportunity that looks good to come into your plan that wasn't strategically put into there. So you think it's a good opportunity and you go for it, and other people are telling you yes. Deep down, you know something's not right, and the next thing you know, everything that you just created falls.
Mm.
And when they said that, I'm like, wow, you are so right, because it happens so often. And go ahead.
No, dude. I love that. Living in that, I'm sure you are too on a day to day as a founder of a company. You're gonna have so much noise, so much noise. So many people are gonna tell you how they see from their perspective how you should run your business. That's not how it works. If I were to take all the advice that someone has given me over the past couple months, I would be living in a box. I would be building a business that I don't truly love. I'm building it because one person thinks that this would be better for themselves. Yet we have to have discernment. After you have a conversation with someone, rather than immediately taking action, why don't you reflect? Why don't you take some time to let those thoughts and emotions distill themselves? I think sometimes we move too fast, and that's our biggest flaw. Slow and steady wins the race.
Oh, oh. So oh my God, that's so good. So I was, oh my gosh, like I told you I was making the vlog videos yesterday,
Yeah,
and when I was in school, I used to do videos like every single week, just life advice, and I stopped that
nice.
since. But I was making this video, and next thing you know, ideas were popping, and I remember I was reading the Bible, Proverbs, I think it was 13 the other day, and it
Mm,
was saying just that. It was saying rich, quick schemes will fail in the end. But if you
mm.
build something that's true and you build something over a long period of time with a strong foundation, it will prosper for generations to come. So when you said that, it just hit.
That's powerful. I love that you're reading Proverbs, man. Like I remember growing up, that was probably the only like book in the Bible really that I resonated with the most that my parents would read to us. Because it's just wisdom, like Proverbs is so relatable to so many different types of religions as well, or spiritual teaching. So that's really powerful. And I couldn't agree more, man. Like with what you're building with perspective, I'm sure this is something that you want to last a lifetime. Like you're not building this just to go and sell it at some point. From what I've seen, this is something that you truly love. You have a specific mission that you came here to share, a specific message you want to share with the world. Like you said, I'm not like money is not the first thing I'm thinking about when I wake up. For me, it's impact.
Mm-hmm.
How do I help more people break free? Right? Like now more than ever, that's what our at least maybe it's could or could not be true, but I think our society needs this more than ever. It's people like you and myself creating these spaces of remembrance, remembering who we are, why we're here, and what our purpose is. So yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing content. I mean, we all see this content when it's like, I can help you get 20 clients and make 20K a month. I think that's the old world, to be honest. I think that's the old way of living. I think maybe in 2024, that was a great tactic. But the people I'm surrounded by, the people that I care about, the people I love, we are seeing right through that. We don't believe in that marketing tactic anymore. We want people that are operating from the soul, from the heart.
100% agree with that. And I think other people listening are either in that process right now or have been through that. And it is very true, especially with, I have it down on my notes right here, with genuine connection building. So many things that you see online, it's like swipe, 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 swipe. Like
Mm,
you're not, it's so easy, at least for me, to spot people who aren't being genuine, who aren't coming across as genuine. And I actually wrote a question down here that I wanted to ask you, which is you're building this community, this amazing community, and you've DJed for Soho House, Coinbase, all these amazing people. You've done content, just amazing things in general, and that comes with building genuine connections. That comes with being authentic and networking and meeting people. What advice would you give to people on networking, on being actually very authentic and creating deeping, long lasting relationships, and maybe even also giving a little example or an experience that you've had in one of these things that you've done?
Yeah, it's an amazing question. I mean, going back to what you said with the swiping, it's a transaction. If you're looking for a transaction, if you're looking for an immediate ROI in a brand new relationship that you're just connecting with, you're losing right there. You're losing the full opportunity, right? And I think for me, that's where a lot of my amazing friendships have come from, because that's exactly how I see it. I've been in sales and business development for like 7 years. Like that's been my career. So I've been, I guess, had so much experience doing this. Even like when I was, my first sales job was door to door sales, and that's like the worst. It's the shittiest way to like sell, because you're going to a stranger's house and knocking on their door. But if you can get good in those first 5 to 15 seconds to build trust, and that's what builds genuine connection, is trust from the kind of the immediacy, and also like vulnerability, man. We want things that are real. We don't want the flakes. You know, I for my last job I was at, before I break out of the system, I was at a company. I was at a company called Proof of Talent, and I was at a conference in Paris. And I remember meeting this founder, and I was a recruiter. I was like, I was a partnerships lead at a recruiting agency. So my role was to find new clients for our recruiters to hire for. And I remember meeting this founder, seemed like an awesome person. And I tell her what I do, and she immediately gets turned off. She basically is like, you were basically, in my head, I was not the person she was looking to meet. And she didn't even give me a chance. And that shit hurt. That shit did not feel good. But like, that is an example of like someone that missed out. And it's not just me as an example, it's anyone. It's someone that missed out on a beautiful relationship and a friendship, something that could last a lifetime. You have no idea who someone knows, the wisdom that they have, the ideas they have, the opportunities they could create for you. And then just once again, having a great friend. I love having good friends, man. I don't need all my friends to be fucking business relationships. I don't need that in my life. And so, an example of that, I was in Tulum last year in September. I'm a big LinkedIn guy. Love LinkedIn. That's been a huge power for me to cultivate great relationships. This woman named Teresa, she's the head of Forbes Mexico. I just, she either liked one of my posts, and then I reached out. I ended up having a coffee with her in Mexico, in Tulum. We probably spent an hour to 2 hours just connecting. There was no like specific intention. It was just the fact that we were two beings wanting to connect and learn more about what we were creating. And at the end of the conversation, I kind of expressed to her that I was interested in either going to Azulik or collaborating with them.
Mm-hmm.
And with Tulum being such a small space, she knew people there, and she invited me to this Tulum real estate event.
Ooh.
My partner and I, Elise, are at this event. It's all in Spanish, bro. It's all in Spanish. It's insane. Like, we keep looking at each other like, should we leave? Like, do we stay? But one of the speakers is the head of PR for Azulik. And so I tell Elise, I'm like, babe, like, we're here for something bigger. We don't know what it is yet. This is super uncomfortable. Let's just stick it out. At the end of the conversation, at the end of the panel, I go up to Juan. It's like, hey, massive fan of Azulik. My partner and I are here from the States. We're actually working on our brand. We want to create some content at your resort. He gives me his number. I message him the next day. He doesn't reply. I follow up a couple days later. He gets back to me. He's like, hey, we don't do collaborations with other brands, but send me your content. Zero portfolio. I'm not like a travel content guy. Like, I love traveling, I love creating content. At least, and I had no portfolio. I send him 3 videos, and he invites us to stay at the resort for a night and create 3 different reels for the brand. Azulik is one of the most followed resorts in the world. Like, their architecture is insane. And this kind of goes back to the conversation with Teresa of just me and her having this like genuine intention just to connect. And that connection leads to another connection that opens up a door that is now a global brand that I've worked with that I can put on my resume, whatever, to attract other global brands. And so for me, I just call that being a magnet for opportunity. So
That is amazing. That is amazing. See, guys, see how like one door leads to another, leads to another, and leads to another. Let it flow. I think who was it? Gal Gadot. I love her. There was a video of her talking about when she was just getting into acting and how she recommends everyone to just, if there's a door and it feels right, go into it because it's going to lead into another door and then another connection will lead to another connection. By the way, congratulations to you on that. That is amazing.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, it's that was a brand, that was a dream brand. Like, dream collaboration, someone I thought I was years away from working with. They posted one of our videos. I think it has like 50,000 views. It was a reel. Oh, yeah, man. You just, like you said, just like trust. You really have to cultivate that confidence in yourself. Like, something I've been doing for years now, and it just kind of continues to increase in scale and impact.
Yeah. Trust within, there's a lot of things. I had this thought a couple weeks ago as well, and I've been kind of saying this to myself over and over, which is you are the builder or the killer of your own confidence,
Mm.
along with the trust. When you say you're going to do something and you commit and you actually do it and you fulfill it and you achieve it, you build trust in yourself that you're going to do it. You build confidence in yourself. When you don't, and when you don't allow yourself to trust in the process, trust that it's actually going to work, like you went to that party, it was in Spanish. Next thing you know, like at all those opportunities, the confidence that you have moving forward from that, building on the small wins, the trust that you have within yourself and within the universe or within God that it's going to work out, it's quote unquote God's armor, which is funny because I guess I'm announcing this right now on the podcast, but that's like another drop that I'm coming out with, which is God's armor.
That's beautiful, man. Could we talk more about God's armor?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, no. From I want to hear
You
from
mean?
you. Like, what if you're able to share? If you're able to
Yeah,
share.
100%. So this kind of goes into the apparel, which I don't think I've ever told this story in public. I started this apparel brand, Perspective, and it has a Z because
It's a
I
fire brand, by the way. Super
appreciate
fire merch.
that.
I love the spelling of it as well
Yeah.
too. How you added the Z.
The whole thing now is it's a type of mindset and lifestyle that people live. So people wear Gucci, Dolce Gabbana, all these different names. And to me, I was thinking about this yesterday at the pool. When you wear Perspective, it's not that you're wearing like a name of someone. It's that you're wearing a lifestyle, you're wearing a mentality. And first 2 drops I did didn't work out, like flop. And that's where most people stop, like you said. That's like, it's fail. I decided to do one more, which was Don't Chase Attract. And it wasn't for anyone else but me because
Mm.
I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but some people already know the story. I had an experience where I was just felt like I was chasing things and chasing people 24/7. And it's almost like you reach that amount of money, but you don't feel good. You reach that person, but it's like you feel empty. And I realized on the plane one night, I had quote unquote anxiety attack. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to create this last drop. It's going to be for me, no one else. Don't
Mm.
chase Zach. Just start attracting. Work on yourself. Put everything behind you. Whatever happened, happened. You go all in on yourself. And I think it was like 3 months in designing, came out, started wearing it, and people started to love it. And people actually started to connect with it. And it felt not anything about the profit or about the money, but more so just seeing people smile, coming up
Mm.
to you, meeting people with it. It felt
Yeah.
amazing. And that was kind of like the seed of a tree, the seed of the idea for me. And I created God's armor because it's almost like a protection for me. So whether I'm going in to make a business deal, a transaction, or I'm going to meet someone, or I'm attracted to someone and I want them to be in my life, like whatever it is, you always have those feelings of like, like nervousness. But like, should I do it? Like those limiting beliefs. But to me, when I think about God's armor and I put it on me, it's like I don't care what's going to happen. If it's meant for me, it's going to happen because God's with me and God is literally on my back. God's literally hanging with me and he's going to take me through it. So, all the things that I come out with, and that's just the thing about perspective, it's focusing on what you can do, on what you can control, on what is good, and going all in on that and knowing that it's going to work out. So, every drop that I do, everything that I talk about with perspective, it's the different seasons in life. I'm
Mm.
depressed someone broke up with me. Don't chase, attract. Be a delusional optimist. Okay, I'm going to start building my life. I'm going to start building a virtual community. I'm going to start building a clothing brand, whatever it is. Good. Got God's armor. Don't chase, attract it, build it. So each different phase of life is just another thing that hits me, and it's like you said, coming from genuine, authentic meaning and energy, and that connects with people. That's what I've been finding.
I think the key thing too, and congrats, man. Like the biggest win I heard is that you created something that you love. And that is so hard for us to do and to like maintain consistently. I don't know if you like check out Rick Rubin, but this is something that he talks about a lot. And just the art of creativity is like create art that you love, whether it flops or it's successful. This is a part of the journey. We're not focused on getting to the destination. Enjoy the process, not the outcomes. And the moment you decided to do something that you loved, by no surprise, other people loved it as well because you're a dope human. You're an authentic human. And we want to see things that you love and that you care about. So I think that's amazing, bro. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. And I can see that's the same thing with you and virtual. Elaborate on that. Tell the people what it is and what got you into it and what your plans are with it for the future.
Yeah, I'm happy to, man. Like I said, I started Virtual in 2018. I was a teenager. It originated as a clothing brand. The focus has always been to help others maximize their potential, and that's done through community, mindfulness, and impact. And so now, today in 2025, Virtual has evolved into a membership community. And so that membership is going to give people access to, honestly, like a tribe, soul family, um, introductions as well too. Like I've built an incredible network globally of beautiful people that are the future leaders of our world. And so I think something people sometimes struggle with is networking. Not everyone is as extroverted as you and I are. So for me, turning that into an opportunity of others is based off of your goals, based off your passion. Let me connect you to X, Y, and Z to continue progressing your path. Also, we'll do like master classes. So inviting other experts that I truly believe in to share wisdom on specific topics, whether that's AI, mindfulness, personal branding, becoming a digital nomad, whatever the community truly wants. And in this early phase, we're inviting founding members. The only way to become a part of this brand is through invitation, referral, an application. For me, it's by design because the people that are a part of this make the brand. It's
Mhm.
not just me, it's the people that actually believe in this. And it's an opportunity for other people to come and co-create that. And so that's the specific, right? But the what actually is virtual to me, it's a portal, it's a frequency, it's a movement. This world, and I've talked about this so much, like what does it mean to be human in 2025? That definition is completely different than what it meant in 2024. We've seen the world change drastically, whether it's in relation to climate, AI, our government. It's time to birth new worlds, new realities, new leaders. And I feel like that's a calling that I've had in this lifetime, is to be that leader for my friends, my community, and future community members. And so, yeah, man, that's where it's headed. And I'm moving out to Bali in less than 40 days. Um, that's something I've been plotting for the past 5 years. I don't know why I've been called there for so long, but I'm so honored to be able to get out there. I don't have really expectations. I just want to go out there and connect deeper to myself, build community, and spread more love to the world. That's really my purpose, my mission. And virtual has just been the vehicle to transcribe that message, the transmission since 2018. And um, I went full time on the brand like 72 days ago. So I'm all in. I left all the safety. They say you leap and the net will appear. So yeah, it's go time, man.
Yeah, 100%. Congrats on that, taking the jump. I think that's something that very useful to other people as well, because I think a lot of people have heard this saying, which is when you jump and you have no net, right? Like burn the ships. Tony Robbins says, burn the ships, take the island. The only option to do is to take that island, aka to win, to accelerate, to grow from it, and to learn in the process. And there's going to be things that happen along the way, but it's good. Pivot, reroute, get creative, have a plan, have a strategy. And I love that you started virtual with two other people, because it's like a tripod. Like three people can't fall if you have a tripod. Stay together, build.
They were with the team up until 2019. So it's
Really? They left?
actually, well, they're in school, man. They're in
Wow.
college.
I didn't even know
Like,
that. Interesting.
yeah, it's not that they left. It's like, for me, I was putting everything into it. And with them being in school, which totally is understandable, they didn't have the same amount of drive towards it. You know what I mean? There's different
Yeah.
goals. So I think naturally it kind of just wound up into my hands. And I mean, trust me, having a team is everything. And, I do contribute. Like, I would say Elise, my partner, is, the silent co-founder, right?
Hmm.
Because she's, always that reflection space, that support, keep going, you got this, I believe in you. There's never doubt in her mind. It's all inevitability. It's a matter of time. It's when this happens. And just having a great community of friends too. I've had multiple people let me know how I can support. Let me know what I can do to help you continue to grow this. A lot of people are raising their hands to be a part of this in their own unique way. And once again, that's built by design. It's not, you can't build everything on your own. You need a village to build a
Yeah.
new world.
Yeah, 100%. How are you managing with that so far? Because I know as founders, as builders, as creators, our head could be like a just like chicken with no head, I guess you could call it, all over the place. You have to manage so many things, especially with personally, professionally, relationship wise. Like there's so many things. How do you manage all that?
I would say, one, full transparency, something I'm still learning how to do. Like, I think that is probably the biggest challenge, is like, like, how much percentage of energy do you allocate towards X, Y, and Z to move the shit forward? And so yesterday I actually, like, I feel like I broke through another limiting belief. Um, Society has trained us, programmed us since we were kids in school to be prepared for the 40 to 60 hour week work weeks. And yesterday I didn't feel like I had the energy or I even wanted to work. And rather than me feeling, I did feel guilt. I did feel a little bit of like unworthiness. But when we feel those emotions, that's not the truth. It's actually an opportunity. Okay, what is this really trying to tell me? And I use AI a lot. Um, that's like, it's my reflection tool. It's also a co-founder. It's my marketing. It's my copy. It's my design. Like for me, I've always been a futurist. AI is the future. It's not going away. How do you leverage it for good? Rather than me having to wait on others or rely on others to get something done that I can get done myself and still move quickly, that's the skill that I've had to level up in the past couple of years. How do I execute at a high level daily and consistently? I don't even know if daily is the right word. Like I said before, like we don't have to bust our ass to create opportunity and abundance, but how do you leverage the tools right now? And I'll tell you my tech stack, like ChatGPT is the
Yeah.
the homie, the friend, my best bud. I literally named it. Well, it named itself Soulless, which is amazing. And then for all my design and like video stuff, I'm using like Midjourney, text to
Mhm.
image platform, and then Runway AI, which is a image to video platform. And with Virtual being a futuristic brand, I can create worlds that don't exist. So that's why it's so beneficial for me, because a lot of the AI stuff you're using today, if you want it to be realistic to what modern reality looks like, it's a little bit challenging. It's still not 100% there yet. And so that's been a huge thing for me. Like continually reflecting with those tools, especially ChatGPT, on myself, understanding my strengths and my weaknesses, so that when I do start to generate revenue for this brand, I'll know exactly who I need to hire to continue not putting myself in a box, not adding more work to my life, to create more freedom. And people that are part of the community are also going to feel that as well. You know, you have to live the brand, you have to breathe it. I am the brand. I am Virtual. I always have been. And so, yeah, I know it's a long-winded answer, but that's kind of how I have balanced everything thus far, is um, just leaning on the different tools that are outside of me and trusting that I don't need to go at 100 miles per hour every single day. You know, it's going to happen on its own, because I want to work on this until I die. So why do I need to go like so fast in the beginning? Like the abundance is going to come. And people might think that's delusional, but it's not. It's literally confidence. It's like I'm one conversation, one email, one post away from $100,000.
That is so true, by the way, guys. I'm going to unpack a couple things, but that is so true what you just said right there. You are one away, literally one away. My friend used to tell me this when I was playing soccer. Zach, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Mm,
And it's the simplest thing, but I'm like, huh, interesting. I'm gonna start shooting more because I was at attack, and I'm like, I'm gonna start shooting a lot more. Miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and I think that could be in business and in life as well. And in flipping to business with what you said, I had a huge takeaway. I get so many big takeaways when you begin to just take time to self-reflect from
yeah.
life and from events. One of my mentors was talking about a lot of the problems that we have on a daily basis are self-induced because we're going so fast, we're so busy, we're trying to be so busy productive that we create problems. So the next day we wake up and our calendar gets booked out because we're solving this problem and solving that problem, versus if you build out your business or your life in a way where you don't trap yourself but you allow it to work for you, you're able to step out into the ether and look and observe and create new thoughts and create new space. Next thing you know, You're not doing all this busy work creating issues and problems, but you're able to zoom out and continue to develop that vision, continue to meet more people, continue to develop yourself. And next thing you know, the world seems to just open up for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so much wisdom right there, right? Like that, I really think that's the new way of just creating, life and experiences that are meaningful and that you care about. We're not living to work, and as much as I love building this brand, it's one of my favorite things to do. There's so many other things that I love as well. And I believe that we can create that lifestyle for ourselves. If I want to go spend a couple hours DJing and then spend a couple hours hiking a mountain and maybe spend a couple hours, 2, 3 hours a day working on my brands, and I'm still creating. And once again, it's never been about the finances, but obviously that's going to keep the roof over our head. I'm still creating 7, 8, 9 figures for myself. Why can't that happen? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's something I've been working through the past couple months have been insane for me, man. Like I feel like I'm a completely different person. It feels like it's been a year. But like, that's a limiting belief. Once again, like if we tell ourselves that we can't basically play and have fun and also create abundance for ourselves, then we're not going to.
Yep.
And I don't know. I feel like the people you've had on your show exemplify that. You exemplify that. I've had a lot of amazing people in my life that exemplify that. And if you don't have people around you having these kind of thoughts, then it's going to be so hard to get there.
Thank you for saying that, because I have this new saying that goes along with that, which is it's the company that you have along the way. People are going to come in, people are going to go out. Some might stay for a lifetime, some might stay for a season. Those who stay for a season are meant to teach you something. But when you try and hold on to those people who are meant to be there for a season, not a lifetime, that's when things start to get out of place, and that's when things feel unaligned. And I remember I think I was in Greece, and there was a second time this happened when I was in Switzerland. And I was overlooking just the most beautiful view, and I'm like, wow, this earth is just so beautiful. Like there's so many places that we just don't understand are there.
Yeah.
And it was the most interesting thing because it was the most calming, peaceful, and loving moment. But I was in my room alone, and I'm like starting to get depressed. I'm starting to get sad. I'm like, damn it, man. Like, if you have all this money, if you have everything you could ever ask for, everything you could ever want, and you don't have people, the right people, quality people with you, I was so unfulfilled. I don't know if the word sad, but just like empty inside. Like all I could think of was, okay, I either want my siblings here, I want my parents here, or I don't have I'm not in a relationship yet, but like my future girlfriend, my future wife, like I want someone by my side, like to experience this with me. And
Yeah.
that was another reflection moment that I don't think I've shared publicly, but it made me think like, okay, a lot of times when we're building stuff, we're in isolation, like we're by ourselves.
Yeah.
And people have quote unquote depression or like not able to go out and meet people and create connections. And to me, about being human and being like who you are, it's about connection. It's about meeting people. It's about being in a tribe, like you were talking about before. What you're creating is the tribe of connecting people. And no wonder I felt like that. No wonder people feel so unfulfilled and so empty when they're not with people, because I mean, other than taking time to reflect and be with yourself and to really understand what's happening, I love being with people. It makes me smile.
I really felt the energy with what you said there about kind of experiencing such a beautiful and vast landscape on your own. Basically was like nomading for, I guess, the first 8 months, just like solo. And like, I think that's probably the biggest challenge of travel, especially as a nomad when you're solo, is like you're going places, you don't know anyone. It takes time to build those relationships. You're really experiencing a lot of things on your own. Those moments too when you're around people and they're speaking a different language that you don't understand as well, that shit's depressing. That's really depressing. It's like such a weird experience to have, but I resonate with that, man. And like, I think as we continue to get older and we mature, like we're gonna look back and we're gonna like see that the relationships are our greatest asset. Like that's been the greatest part of the journey, is like it took me going to the Azores in Portugal to meet, my friend Yasi, you know what I mean? Like, and now I'm sending her music before her DJ set, or like, it's that type of stuff that's like, those are fun stories to share because we were really joyful in that moment. We found someone that we related to, we connected to. The universe clearly wanted us to connect on a soul level, and there's nothing better than that, man. There's really nothing more rich than that experience.
100%. I have a weird story for you, like 30-second story.
Please.
Yesterday, I got out of the gym. I went to the pool, and I was coming back up to my apartment, and these two people, amazing. I went to go say hi in English, and they started talking to each other in Spanish. And then they start looking at me, and they're talking in Spanish, like full on blown conversation, fluent, thinking that I can speak Spanish fluently. And I'm picking words like pool, beach, dance because of what I've learned in Spanish. I'm cracking up inside though, because I'm like, should I tell them that I don't know how to speak Spanish, or should I just like keep going with the vibe because it's amazing? And I swear we had like a 5 minute conversation in Spanish where I'm like, see, yes, yeah, and like they were going with it, and I swear it was the funniest thing because I'm like, I we're 3 minutes in, I can't tell them I don't speak Spanish. It's not going to look right. And then at the end of 5 minutes, we get out of the elevator. I'm like, adios. The one word that I say, and they're like, ah. But
It's a,
it's
that's
just
hilarious, man.
like, it was so fun and genuine and authentic. I was just thinking that moment, like, so many people would be, I'm so, like, I'm out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going with it and having fun. And you saying that you went there and that you didn't know what they were saying or like anything that was happening. I thought back to that story and I'm like, you know what? That might have been the funniest memory I've had all week. 5 minute conversation in Spanish, not knowing anything that they just said.
But like that just goes to show you that like there's a universal language. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like, I mean, good on you for sitting in it. I think I'd have probably like a time limit for myself and be like, all right, guys, like, let me be real with y'all. I don't know what the hell you just said, but I love the vibes.
uh,
But that's hilarious, man.
yeah. Go and elaborate on some of the stories that you were talking about before with the DJ sets and some of those experiences and what you learned from them. I think that'd be really useful for me and for everyone watching also to hear and learn from.
Yeah, I mean, man, DJing was never a part of the plan, like, never a part of the trajectory for me. I've always loved music. I feel like I've always had a great taste in music, but never in a million years, I think, I would start playing in other countries and playing for other brands. One, I just want to say I'm grateful for all the people that have given me these opportunities and entrusted me, because on paper, I was never really like, or I guess maybe not on paper, but like technically, I don't feel like I'm like the strongest DJ because it was never something I practiced. I'm like, I literally have learned to DJ by pulling up and playing. And there's like this sense of like once you're playing in front of a crowd, you are tapping into a greater frequency because it's like you're trying to create like memories and moments and experiences for people. And I love Rufus the Soul and Tame Impala and Kane Music. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but these DJs that play this like very uplifting sound, like when you're hearing this music, you're gonna feel joy. And I feel like that's always been the foundation for me. If I don't feel good when I'm listening to it, I'm not gonna play it. And I feel like that it really comes down to one being a magnet for opportunities. The relationship part has been huge for me. Um, Literally, Miguel, the R&B artist, I got to DJ for his brand Sick World, which is an NFT company. I
Wow.
don't know if it's still around, but I had my friend Fari. Um, she like reached out to me for the opportunity, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm down." She's like, I know like you're going to maximize this, and um, I really had only like played house and stuff, but it was all R&B set, and absolutely went in and crushed it. But it's just like once again, it really comes down to like the relationship part for me. Like I make sure my friends and people I like work with feel so loved and supported. I'm not asking them for things. For me, you give more, you receive more, and I don't know. The DJing has just been like a fun expression. It's not I don't know where it's going to take me in life. I'm not necessarily like I think it's in a part of the purpose, but it's not something I'm like, oh, I'm trying to become a professional or like tour the world. For me, ideally, like when I host events for Vurtual, I can go and play like an hour set and just like have fun in that moment. You know what I mean? Um, it's been cool, man. Like when I was out in Tulum, we obviously worked with Azulik, but also Selena. They're a global hostel resort company. They have a resort in Tulum Beach, and so I got to DJ for them. But I also got to stay there for 3 nights and create content for them as well too. I think for me, like that was kind of one of those moments where I just asked. I was like, "Hey, like, what if I did this for you guys as well?" And they were all about it. So
Mm.
I don't know, man. Follow your highest excitement. Why not? Why won't you? Why can't you become skilled in like DJing and then also be a great speaker and then also have a clothing brand and dream the biggest dream? That is the greatest opportunity that we have as humans in this lifetime.
100%. It's funny you say that because I write down my goals every morning now.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
thank you. Something happened the other day, which I didn't even realize until I was done writing them down. And I'm like, whoa. I have this goal for real estate of how much I want to have invested in real estate. And I kept on writing the same number for like at least 3 weeks consecutively. And like I knew it. And then I started talking to some other people and went to an event, and I came back and I literally went to go write out that same number. I made the number 10 times bigger without even thinking about it, without even knowing. And my hand just wrote it down. And I'm like, whoa. Like, whoa. How did that just happen? And for me, that goes back into not limiting yourself to one box. Like think bigger. Like you could do more than one things. And that goes back to another thing that you said also. See, chain of reactions, guys. See, telling you about it. How you have the overall mission, and then you have the vehicle. But one vehicle might only get you X amount of the way. So you might have to jump on multiple vehicles to hit that overarching mission, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I think that a lot of people box themselves in, and hearing another thing, which I want you to elaborate on, extrapolate on this as well, is you said before, don't be afraid to ask. Like you just ask. what if it happens?
Yeah, I mean, this was funny. Like, I went bowling with my dad and brother this past Saturday, and afterwards we went to a restaurant, and I kept like asking the waitress for things because I wanted it, and my brother was like, "You never used to do this. Like, when did this happen?" And I was like, I said to my dad, like, "If you don't ask, you're not gonna get it." You know what I mean? And it's someone's role. It's someone's job to do that in that specific function. Yeah, I just think like before you even get to the part of asking, you have to know what you want,
Oh,
right? And like to even know what you want, you have to get to the essence of who you are. And once again, like these are all skills that take time to develop with a lot of reflection. There's this podcast I listened to years ago back in 2020. It was with Jay Shetty, and he was talking about his mentor that I think had passed away. And he said, pain without reflection equals more pain. Pain plus reflection equals growth. And I've held on to that since. Like, brother, when I tell you I am reflecting 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day on circumstances and experiences that I'm having, like it is a constant. What is this? What, like, that's how you get to be able to know the questions to ask. That's how you create the confidence to know who to ask and why to ask. Like, I try to be so mindful and strategic when I do ask questions because it's the questions you ask tell a whole story.
hmm.
It's the questions you ask are unlocking new realities for yourself. So if you don't ask them, then you're going to stay in the same place and you're not going to be able to change. And no one's going to know that you need $10,000 to go and shoot a video if you don't ask. So I don't know. It's a lot like activating that throat chakra. You know what I mean? I think for some people, they don't have that confidence. This is something we've been exercising for years now. You're literally a host of a podcast. I know you're asking for things. So, yeah.
That's so funny. You say that specific thing as far as clarity on where you want to go, because it's. I feel like saying anything more will complicate it in itself, but just like you said, like guys, if you don't know where you want to go, you just get in your car right now, turn it on, put it in drive, and drive. Drive.
Is that
Where are you going?
some Jocko right there, dude?
Where are you going? Jeep, you need a coordinate. It might change, but you gotta. I truly believe in that. Over the past couple years of, okay, getting clear on where you want to go, then what habits and targets do you have to hit? Do you have to do on a daily basis to be able to reach that goal? I read Matthew McConaughey's book, The Green Lights, which he is
Nice.
just
Love
very
Matthew,
smart
dude.
and hilarious at the same time. Like crazy stories. He was saying sometimes you have to figure out what you don't like and who you're not in order to figure out what you do like and who you are. Process of elimination before process of addition.
Wow. That's huge. I mean, I'm sure you can relate to this too. Like in our earlier, I mean, we're still both super young. I don't know your exact age, but like I'm not even 30 yet, so I feel like I'm chilling, which is great. But like the early days, like you're low key a yes man. Like you're taking the opportunities and experiences because why the hell not? You need to, like you said, like you have to do those things to eliminate what you don't want. And then once you can start to understand like your archetype, like your path, your direction, then you can start to say no. And when you're saying no, you're saying yes to something way bigger.
You guys got to get that one. That took me a long time to understand what he just said right there. That is so true. So true. Oh my gosh, that's like golden nugget times 5 right there, guys. Guys, I I was talking about this with my friend a couple months ago, and there was at a point in my life where I'm like, yes, 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 yes to every opportunity because it's like amazing, good idea. But everything kept on falling apart. I had no time for myself, and I kept on getting so overwhelmed, and I just freak out to other people. And then I started being like, no, good idea. Why don't you go ahead and do that? Which most of the time, people have amazing ideas. They never actually take action on them, which is the sad part in itself.
Yeah.
But the more I started saying no and keeping track of what I actually like to do, happiness islands, sadness islands, Arlen, I started feeling much better. Had a lot more time to say yes and focus on what I was actually doing, which was beautiful. And there's this saying that I keep on hearing, and I used to say as well, which is, I don't have time. You don't have time. And I want to share this because I think it's very impactful for others to hear as well. The statement, you don't have time. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have the same amount of time that we have. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. It depends on what we use it on. And then you're going to go ahead and say, well, we don't have billions of dollars. Well, going on to what Tony Robbins says, be resourceful with what you have in the current moment. You don't need everything. You don't need millions and billions of dollars. Get creative and be resourceful with what you have in your time. Say no to say yes to other things.
True.
You're in the know 100%.
Trying, man, learning every single day. Like, so much wisdom, dude. This has been an insane just conversation. I've had a absolute blast, and like, it's crazy because you and I have not had a call before this. Like this, like this is another one of those circumstances where the universe is bringing two dope people together to share a message, you know? So I just want to say thank you for like setting this up. I know I reached out to you. I sent you like 4 videos of myself talking,
Yeah,
like just expressing who I am and why I think I'd be a good fit for the show. And yeah, man, this is what it's all about. You know, it's tracking the tribe, and man, you got so much wisdom, and I need some of that perspective gear, man.
I got you. I'll set you up, man. I'll reach out to the team and get you set up.
That'd be awesome, dude. That'd be awesome.
I got to set you up with my friend who's actually in Bali right now. His name's Lachlan. I did a podcast before with him. He's he bought these Ray-Ban glasses that has a camera on them. So he
I
presses
have those.
record. You do?
Yeah, I
Dude,
have
you guys
those.
are gonna have the best time together, I swear.
Please connect me to them.
I'm gonna connect you, and I'm actually, you guys are making me consider coming down to Bali and doing an actual in-person 3 podcast. That
Dude,
actually
there's
could be an
so
idea.
many studios there. There's so many sick studios. I mean, fuck, we could probably do it by a waterfall, but
That'd be sick.
that that's something I'm like plotting towards is doing podcast interviews like out in nature when I'm out there, because for me, like, this is super on brand. But dude, come out. Like, I've never been, but I know it's gonna be an absolute movie, like absolute time. So would
Dude,
love to connect with him, bro. He sounds sick.
I'm gonna connect you guys, and I appreciate you jumping on the podcast and sharing your story. I know this is definitely gonna help out tons of people watching now and in the future. At whatever stage that they're at, just hearing your story, hearing your wisdom and your knowledge truly means a lot. And guys, if you are at Bali, go connect, go meet up. One door opens into another, and it's as simple as that. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. Much love. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Guys, go check out what Remy's got going on. Go follow him. Be a part of the journey. Appreciate you all. And guys, remember, perspective is your power. God bless.